Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. A sea of new faces. Once again, we're so lucky with a huge amount of chefs we've had over the last few days. We really are. All local chefs. This gentleman is Dave Jenkins from Dave's Kitchen. I'm sure he'll talk loads about what he's been doing, but he's been in the area quite some time. Worked at Brown's Hotel in Tavistock for many years. Then went up to the wonderful 22 Mill Street up in Chagford, and is just about to, you're working on your own outside catering business at the moment, and then you're opening a restaurant in Plymouth called Rock Salt. Good name. Opening when?
It should be, well, it was supposed to be in May, but obviously through building work it's been put off a little bit. But
builders, so but I'll be about November then.
But hopefully it should be operating kind of the end of August, beginning of September, maybe even a bit earlier if everything goes really well, but we shall see.
Excellent.
We want to get everything perfect before we open the door. So
quite right. So what are we going to cook today? We, in the loose sense of terminology.
I'm going to do something that I want. Well, everybody should be able to cook at home. I could come in here and do a nice restaurant dish, but I want to do something that's quick, simple. You either pop to the supermarket or down your local store and pretty much find most of the ingredients, and it literally is almost a one-pot wonder. You put it in, you infuse all the aromatics, you pass it off, you poach your chicken, and you have this wonderful sweet, sour, slightly salty but rich coconut creamy soup, which is ideal for this time of year. You know, if you sat with friends having a glass of wine, you could do it, I don't know, or even for a dinner party. It could be an entree or a starter for people to come in. And obviously I'm going to serve it with, it's like a flatbread or a roti bread, which is a Thai bread. But I put a little bit of yogurt and some crackle butter through it, which you normally find in like a, you know, the Indian naan breads or what have you. And basically there's no yeast in it, so it's very, very easy to make. There's no proving. It's literally just bog standard water, flour, crackle butter, yogurt and some aromatics in there. And you just pan fry that, so it's nice and crispy just to dip through your soup. So that's kind of the, it's a little bit, you know, Thai influence.
Sounds very good. So it's a chicken. There will be recipe sheets up here. If anybody wants to take one now while he's doing it, you know, we can pass them around or otherwise pick them up at the end. So it's a chicken and galangal soup.
Yep.
Over to you.
Shall I go?
I'll go. I'll just lean over here.
Okay.
I don't know because your mic's not working, but can you hear him okay? Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Good stuff.
So you can wear it if you like. You look quite cool, but.
Yeah. I'll go au naturel. No, it's not mine.
It's not your
No. Right. Anyway, this soup is very basic and easy to make. It's something that I personally really like. As a chef, you do all the restauranty things and the chefy things, but when I cook at home, this is pretty much what I like to sit down and eat, eating with friends, glass of wine, chill out, you know, summertime. So basically, the base of the soup is chicken and galangal as your primary flavours, with a, you know, tints of lime, chilli, palm sugar, the things that you do find in most Thai food. So basically, the crux of it is, it's literally coconut milk. That's kind of come out of the tin with a spoon. Which obviously you can find in any supermarket.
So obviously, inspired by travels or.
Yeah, well, my wife's an Aussie, so I've spent a bit of time over there, and there's a massive influence of Thai cooking in Australia. And it's always been a passion of mine as well. Just to eat, just the flavours so punchy and bold, salty, sweet and sour.
I agree.
You know,
it's my favourite food.
Yeah, just to kind of chill out with friends and relax and kind of have a good time. This style of food for me is perfect. So basically,
and also nowadays all these ingredients you can buy, you know, exactly.
Your local supermarket,
Yeah.
go down pretty much one aisle.
Yeah.
And find everything that I've got here. There's a few little things which I bought in a specialist like Asian supermarket.
I was going to say there are also Asian supermarkets locally for those,
Yeah.
or buy online, you know, dare I say, but for those specialist ingredients.
Galangal, for people who are not familiar with it, it's very like ginger. It's just slightly sweeter, slightly more aromatic, and not so spicy as ginger. So people that kind of wouldn't veer towards ginger because of that kind of, you know, the way it is, it can be a bit punchy, but overtake a few flavours. Galangal is kind of like that happy medium where you can kind of get that sweetness.
Can I pass a bit round?
Yeah,
Is that, yeah,
kind of
right.
plenty of there.
Yeah.
And literally, I'm just going to infuse.
I was expecting to be really sort of snotty. So it's a big part of the ginger family, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very much the same. Very much the same, but you smell it. It's just got that slightly more sweeter flavour. It's a lot lighter. So I'm actually infused the coconut now with the. Then it's good. It's already washed. Just chop it down nice and rough.
So has anybody travelled to Thailand Vietnam, any of that? Done some nice spicy food eating? Yeah, then some people. I have, I must admit. And the first day I sort of arrived in Bangkok and went to the street markets, and that's the thing, is the food on just the market stalls and stuff is just unbelievable. And I love it because they have the lady who just has a sort of yoke of a cooker on one side and her ingredients in the other bucket, just sets down at a little, little table and cooks the most amazing food you could possibly imagine. And you'll be thinking, in the middle of all this market. And what ingredients is that?
This is palm sugar.
Palm sugar.
It comes in different forms. You can get it in a tub, where literally, if it's at room temperature, you can spoon it out, almost like a little bit like a paste. But these come in dips, and they're almost in portion sizes. It's quite firm, obviously, like a hard sugar wood thing. But as soon as it actually hits the warmth of the thing, it melts. It's very, almost to me, tastes like honey. So you get the sweetness without the harshness of sugar. So it kind of it sits on the back of the palate lovely, and to me, I use it in English cooking as well. It's not just with the Thai or Asian influenced cooking. I do use it just in my day-to-day.
Is that because it melts quicker, or?
It doesn't necessarily melt quicker. It's just not so harsh as sugar. It's almost got a honey. If you smell it, it's almost got like a honey flavour to it, an aroma about it. So again, that just needs to go in. You can grate it as well into your stock, so it melts a bit quicker. But for me, I love it. It's good in desserts, creme brulee. Make creme brulee with it. I don't know, just your basic things that you normally put sugar in.
Yeah.
It has the same qualities, obviously. Okay, and then also, just to enhance the flavour of the soup, I have just one chilli for this amount of soup. Just kind of chopped up again.
I mean, obviously, it's always the thing. It's like when you're cooking for yourself, and the more spicy food you eat, the more.
Yeah.
The more spice you want.
You can leave the chilli out, it wouldn't affect the flavour of the soup.
Yeah.
It's more of a personal preference.
Yeah.
Just give it a little bit of heat at the back of the palate. Kaffir limeys, again, just a little bit of citrus heat to balance.
Are those dry ones or are they
these
fresh?
These are dry,
yeah.
You can buy them, but again, these are readily available in the supermarket. Yeah. They're easy to pick up. So again, it's a quick infusion now, so I'm using a little bit more than what I would normally to get the lime flavour out, because if you had time on your hands, you could just let this kind of tick over a bit. It's not going to stew, the flavours won't deteriorate, it will still taste nice and fresh. But it's slightly tea, making a cup of tea, the longer you leave it, the stronger it will get.
Yeah.
The same principle works with this. So that's pretty much it. So the other ingredient I do have for this, you couldn't just drink coconut milk. You have chicken stock in there as well, and that's going to be the base of the soup. And again, chicken stock, you use stock cubes. It's literally 2 parts coconut milk to 1 part chicken stock, or again you can use 50-50, it depends again. It's one of these things that's very flexible. That's the good thing about Thai cooking, you can follow a recipe, then you can bend it to each way that you want to. Again, it's like how rich and creamy you would like it.
I think it is very much the thing of, you make it, you follow it. Because when you are following something, particularly with chilies, is everything that is such a personal taste thing. You might then taste it yourself and think, well, I don't think that's spicy enough.
Exactly.
But then you have friends over and they eat it and their ears are steaming, which is obviously never a sign of a good dinner party.
Even if he sees a chilli in the room, he's winning. So
Well, because again, I think it's that thing. The last few days, the things we were saying to chefs, that we all like to cook, we're all interested in food, which is why we're here. But the things that we're all scared of doing, the filleting of fish, for example, because of getting the bones, not knowing how to identify an incredibly hot chili and think, well, I just put one of those out and it'll be fine, or if I put 4 of those in, because of course if you do go somewhere and you eat incredibly hot food, it completely ruins your palate. There's a sort of bravado, isn't there? I'm still looking at the men in the room here, by the way. When they go for a curry, it's like, oh, I can have a fal dal, whatever, and because it's incredibly hot. And basically exactly that. You put the first mouthful in, your ears steam, your eyebrows sweat, and you think, crikey, and then you actually can't taste anything after that. So,
Next ingredient, lemongrass. Obviously, everybody's familiar with lemongrass.
Whoops. This goes to show we all do it. It was actually planned, though.
That's it.
It is in the ingredients. It does say it.
It says boil over.
Yeah, it says boil.
Make a wally of yourself.
Yeah, boil over and all is good.
And obviously lemongrass for the citrus side of things. Again, you've got the kaffir lime leaves in there. Lemongrass goes in. Again, it's very aromatic. Back of the palate when you're eating it, it's such a freshness. It cuts through the richness of the coconut, fattiness of the coconut. So that's going to go in there as well. My burner still working. I'm only allowed one boil over, but that's it.
Uh-oh.
And I have to eat.
Maybe turn it down.
So we're just going to let that. Sorry, boss.
No, I just maybe. I've got my pizza as a backup anyway.
Hey.
So.
The next step is obviously the garnish or the bread that's going to go with the soup. It's very simple. I have pre-made it, obviously, because I didn't know what ingredients I would have here. But it literally is, the recipe's on the paper, it literally is flour, water, clarified butter and yogurt. And any aromatics that you would like. There's no yeast, there's no proving, there's no I'll do it before I go to work and come back and wait for it to come up or stick it on the radiator or near the airing cover or anything like that. It is just as simple as that because we are literally going to pan fry this bread. So it's nice and crispy to serve literally as a dipping agent or a garnish to go with the soup.
So without having, because it doesn't have yeast, that means it's a flat. This is me asking a stupid question. I'm saying, without yeast,
There we go.
All planned, part 2.
Exactly.
Yeah. So without the yeast, so therefore it's a flatbread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still has the same ingredients as what any normal bread would have, literally apart from the yeast. So it's not alive, it's not active, it's not going to prove. You could make this the day before. You can make this 2 or 3 days before. Keep it in the fridge. Obviously, you can't